Here's another interesting polynomials question. How many possible k-values? This one here, if you haven't seen it before, is one of the trickier questions because there's multiple possibilities. But here's the trick. We generally use the idea of factoring. When we have this coefficient that's not 1, you multiply 6 times whatever's in front of the last. 6 times this last number here, the number part is -6, is -36. So 6 times -6 equals -36. Now the question is, how can you produce this number -36? What are the factors? What times what equals -36? So this is where I'm just going to focus on numbers. 1 times 36, 2 times, if you have 36, 15 plus 3 is 18. And then 3 times 12, use your calculator, is 36. And then 4 times 9 is 36. We're getting closer. Notice how these numbers are far apart and they're getting closer and closer. And let's try 6 times 6 is also 36. So the way that we multiply two numbers to generate -36, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the negative sign over here. So this times this is -36. And what is the k-value? The k-value, the middle term, the coefficient of the middle term is formed by adding these. So what we end up having here is k here would be +35. And then -2 plus 18 would be +16. And -3 plus 12 would be +9. And 9 minus 4 is +5. And then 6 minus 6 would be 0. So when we add these two numbers, we get 0 as a k-value. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different k-values. However, there's another possibility. There are other ways to generate -36 as well. What if we just copy these really quickly? 1, 36, 2, 18, 3, 12, 4, 9, 6, 6 again, but put the negative sign from the left to the right. We're almost doubling our answers. So there are cases, depending on whether this sign here is negative or positive, or the situation is going to affect the number of k-values, where we just double the number of k-values. However, there's something tricky about this question here. See, when we move the sign over to the right, we do in fact generate -36. But what ends up happening is when we add these two numbers, we get -35, -16, -9, -5, and 0 again. Notice how I'm just copying these numbers over and putting a negative sign here. So these are different k-values. But we can't say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2 k-values. There's not 10 k-values. There's actually 9. We don't count this k-value. We don't count this k-value 0 because we already use that as an answer. You can't repeat the same answer twice. So we can say that there's actually 9 different k-values for this particular question. So the key for this question is to multiply the a value as well as this last number part and try to break it down into its factors systematically, such that you can find all the different possibilities of k-values. Great job. If you got this, you're well on your way to solving all the trickier problems.